Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe where we're playing the Frozen Gods in GURPS 4th edition. I'm Luke the GM and we've got the usual people: Colin, CD, Lee, Tara, Kyle and Emily. Previously, I nearly said y'all in a British accent. That makes some people just straight up die. Um, Previously, in it, everyone were going north to check up on what the Giants have got to offer, which seems to be a big threat that's been driving them south. You did find a dead giant, um, not live ones like you were planning on talking to. It turned out to be full of little weird baby creatures, maybe babies, like wolf-sized, six-legged lizards with no eyes, lots of teeth and sharp claws that spat at you but missed. They did bite a horse, and after killing them, killing a couple of them, managing to tie up a couple of live ones and dragging them back to your camp, you found out your camp had been attacked by a much bigger one that could fly. And as you got back, you saw it flying away towards the mountains to the northwest. Shortly after that, giants did show up, four of them, looking for the pal, looking a bit concerned. And that's pretty much right where we left off. How many people did I say had died at the camp? Three? No, four. The the three other scouts, other than the one that you've brought back, who's got no leg, um, and Fredbert, dead servants. Fredbert, yep, rip in peace, buddy. The giants are here. I believe they asked a question, but we can just redo it, I
No,
suppose.
they asked what happened. I said big monster, and they were like, "Yep, sounds about right."
Mm-hmm. Our
And
brother.
that's pretty much where we ended. Oh, and dead up that way,
Mm-hmm.
big monster.
They look at the mess, the dead people. Who can speak giant, by the way?
I think just me,
Anyone else got it?
maybe Katya because she can speak uh my language or Ituni, so I think they have like broken level, but I have giant and full accented.
Then I think it's just you, because I only have
Everyone,
your Ituni accented.
everyone, roll IQ, please. The giants, one of the giants in particular, a female, uh, will step forward, and she seems to take charge of the conversation. You do manage to make out quite a few Eldresh words if you succeed on this by more than two.
I'm a linguist.
Um, and Etho, you pick up pretty much everything that she's trying to get across.
I mean, I speak giant,
Yeah.
accented.
The words that those of you do manage to pick up are like cremate, burn, these dead, burn fast. Uh,
I'll also ask about. I'll immediately ask, what about people left alive?
Frown, frown at you hard.
I'll say one of them was glued to wall or stuck to wall with spit or something.
One of them pulls up a big hefty club that they've got. I've got some pictures of giants. Uh, well, this is just a generic. As we start building fire, they say. Look at this guy. He's all hunched over. Should drag you to this page. They start walking away from the camp. Two of them. They've got huge
I will.
bundles of sticks on the back. Oh, and they've got goats with them. I forgot about the goats.
I will legitimately ask, do we need to kill that guy?
How long ago? Time.
Since morning, when the scouts were sent out,
Not that long ago.
a couple
But
hours.
yeah, they'll. We build fire for dead. More important.
Okay, I will turn around and look at the group. We burn dead.
Luke, what are the burial customs in Etendune normally?
They vary. If these were religious men, then you'd want proper last rites, although this isn't really a big church operation. It all depend on personal preferences. You'd have got to know these guys a little bit. Hard to say. It's
Is it
certainly a bit.
normal to burn bodies after? Okay, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, for sure. It's not common practice to burn them so fast.
Why?
I, as a player, know. I'm gonna roll quick intelligence to see if Izo puts it together.
Probably not, actually. Yeah, no.
I made it on the nose, but because that's what you do when this happens, apparently.
We don't need to give them a giant burial. There, cremation.
Yes.
They have their customs, we have ours.
Cremation. You hear him say. She steps forward, the one who's been talking, and does as big a bow as she can manage. Slaps her chest real hard and says, Niran.
Etho, Kacha.
Gotcha, smiles and waves.
She introduces the others. I need to zoom in to actually be able to read the names I gave them. Snegan, Rint, Balak. Giant language includes a fair few like clicks and glottal stops as well.
She is right, though. Like, we can take them back to their families at least.
I'll look and say, why burn to the giants and giant.
They are danger to a whole tribe.
I'll kind of, yeah, still again, I as a player understand why, but you live inside? Do they live inside? She'll remember the things living inside the giant.
Dirty. Bad. More will come. Mother will return. For food. Bring sisters.
If I'll turn back to the group. If we don't burn, more will come, more will die.
That's some giant superstition.
Yeah, why will more come? Can I, like, smell it or something?
Turns back. Why will they come?
Too many questions. Time
Get-
of essence. The others have like finished scraping out an area and putting the sticks together.
She'll say, Kajo ask many questions, and basically Kajo means killer of our people in Eldritch. So it's a very offensive term for
Murderer.
Eldritch people. Yeah.
Like calling him a Nazi.
Calling them
Colonizer.
genocide this?
Mm.
Genocide? What would be the right genocider. But anyway,
The proper term for that is war criminal.
Where is
Well, you're cutting in and out.
my goats? Oh, goats. I just want a goat. Give me a good
I'll turn back to the group and say, time is important. Do fast or problems.
Yes, agree.
I think
But
Peon's
That
already over helping with the fire.
they like put a bunch of they pull out goat fur, put it deep in the fire. Rin leans in and scrapes a huge piece of flint across this massive like pick that she's got. Sparks it up, blows hard, like huge bellows. Her cheeks swell out as she does it, and pretty soon there is a roaring fire. Check it out, fire, woo.
Ooh.
Meh. Goats. There's goats. They talk to each other in giant a bit. Everything has to kind of rhyme somewhat. It's very musical language that I don't convey well on the fly. And it's
What's the gist?
the gist is that Rin is sending Snegan, no, Niran is sending Snegan and Balak to recover or burn in place their dead friend, telling him to follow the river north. It's clear that that's where he must have died.
I'll also look at them and say, we have monsters too.
Where?
Head nod in the general direction of the monsters we.
Yeah, they're not hidden. They're just like lashed to a sled.
They've moved like
Dead
a
ones
good
and the live
100
one?
meters away. She squints over there and readies a pick and turns and looks at Rint, who also readies her pick, and Snegan picks up his big bit of pointy wood.
Okay, Peon like runs over and interposes himself between. Like tell them we need them to help convince everybody else of the danger.
They need to convince Idiot King that things are bad.
They look at each other. Foolishness. They look back.
Telling me.
They must die. They grow fast. Mother will return.
That one will get. Turns back to our group. That one will get bigger. Mom will show up. Murder.
They sing to her. It cannot be risked. We will not lose any more, sister.
You're saying
If we
it
don't
will,
kill more bad things.
but we're going to head back to Salt Dock. Problem solved.
Turn back
I
to the
don't think
giants.
Salt Dock has the forces we need.
Turn back to giants and say they want to keep.
Like, what else can't we do with these things then? Like, we need to bring back some information.
Are dead okay? Do dead sing to mother?
All burn.
All need to burn, guys.
That's
everyone.
it. That's in Eldresh, yeah. The giant that's getting spoken. Give me an IQ check, even accented.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. They've got really thick, heavy accents. Okay, you make it on the nose. So, these foolish humans are skinny, small ones dance around, making silly game, playing in castle. They're going to die. They're going to get us killed too.
In a toonie to Katya, we might want to do what they say. They're starting to get pissed.
I mean, I kind of am too. Like, we came here to learn stuff, and they're just yelling at us.
Of
Rin
course they are. They are big, dumb giants.
is reaching
Well, that-
in a
That was in toonie, but yeah.
goat pack.
Oh,
I'm sure Archie could have still been saying big dumb giants because that's just fun. And actually, yeah, you may well have been saying it to the voice in your head that just said, like, these fucking idiots. Everyone. Why not kill them? What difference does it make? I mean, they're clearly dangerous, and if that mother comes back, what are you going to do? It can fly, and what, are you going to take on 4 giants and stop them? Idiot. Is pretty much what the voice in your head says, Archie.
no, I'm not gonna take on 4 giants. I don't need to take on 4 giants. That's terrible.
Archie, we
I
aren't
see
fighting
you
here.
try, Niran points at you. Points a pick at you. She, like, steps forward, towering over Etho.
I'm just gonna take a step out of the way here and like not sort of be in
Balak
between Archie and the
pulled
pissed
out.
off giant.
A big spear.
Seriously, where if I do have to take on 4 giants, what do I kill them? What's the quickest path?
They're just big humans. Um,
Oh, I think Archie's like whispering this.
Rin has reached into the goat's saddlebag, and she's pulled out what from across the fire looks like a big shield, but it's extremely shiny, like it glints in the fire. Catches it, and she throws it straight across, and it lands in the snow, kinda just in front of Katya, in between her and Archie, as the shouting's going on.
Archie will pick it up.
It's heavy.
How large?
Wait, what is it?
It's not that big. No, it's like a human-sized shield. So to a giant, it's a big coin, I suppose.
Oh,
Human
Frisbee.
sized as in a shield sized for a human to use,
a
or as
shield.
large as a human?
A shield sized for a human to use. It is what, just over a yard in diameter. Highly reflective all over. But the outside is embossed in a deep engraving. Well, that's not embossed, is it? It's engraved deep, and the engraving is blackened inside against the super silver metal, and it is quite clearly Keemtani writing. We take that from their queen.
This was stolen, or this was taken from the Mother Queen.
Is Archie grabbing it right now or no?
yeah, Archie's gonna pick it up.
Okay, Micah will slip behind you to read over your shoulder.
Yeah, Archie's looking at it. I think. Mike?
Micah.
Micah.
Uh,
Archie,
do you read Keemtani?
I do, in
Yep.
fact.
Literate.
Both of you are illiterate. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
it is very, very similar to the modern characters. Close enough that you think you can make out certain words and phrases. And indeed, alongside the inscriptions, there are depictions of these creatures. And Archie, I think you failed your IQ check before. Make me another one at a +4, please.
I give you a linguistics roll?
Yeah.
Any modifiers?
Amazing, Archie. Yeah, a
Roll the
minus.
flat.
It's a success on the nose. Archie, the figures don't jump out at you as you're remembering where you saw them. But
Ooh, pretty pictures.
pretty pictures, but they do quite clearly represent the the creatures that you've come across. And this thing actually seems to describe it's like a legend, um, but a legend of this creature maybe. And it's hmm, has anyone got history keen or
Yep,
history's
I
good?
made a roll. I succeeded with a roll on it yesterday to recognize the creatures as being described somewhere in the history.
Oh, amazing.
I got history Utani, so would that help?
I don't have history keen, but I do have. So
Did I roll a new one?
Yeah, roll me a new history and give me your history as well, Etho. Ah, yeah, no.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So
Jeez.
anything with that area knowledge?
it sounds really similar to the prayers that you heard in their holy buildings.
Okay.
And yeah, you both managed to
Oh,
sound it out.
should I?
But
Wait, I also have theology.
ooh, theology. Yeah, that would have worked too.
Oh, really?
It is specialized theology, so if you've only a success by 3, you've probably got it specialized to the other one.
Comparative.
But actually, they are pretty similar. And
Well,
anyway,
for me, it doesn't matter.
on
She
my
just rolled a
yeah,
crit.
yeah, you remember this exact story, or it's changed completely. This story is retold, but with Arate, essentially. Oh no, what am I on about? This story gets retold, but it is something that Arate allegedly vanquished, but kind of trapped, kept at bay as a
So
weapon.
is this? Sorry, could you say what the gist of the story on the shield is then? I'm
So
a bit confused.
the gist of the story on the shield is that Arate, the kind of founder of all life on this world, was tricked by some other gods and had unleashed upon him something that could, prevent his giving everyone life. And the evil queen that did it, he trapped her along with her eggs that contained the children, and made sure
Okay, and
she
the stuff in the shield matches the idea of an evil queen from that story.
kinda, yeah, definitely the theme, but it's more like a story of her children and what her children will do when she's finally free.
More of a scary Ragnarok thing.
And this stuff doesn't really immediately jump out either. This is things you'll kind of will dawn on you, I think, over the next couple of days. I've explained a bit too much too fast there at the end.
Etho, do
Especially
they
after that
speak?
critical failure roll.
Do they speak Kiamtani?
You speak Kantan?
Frown at you.
No.
They don't know what this is?
They want to know if you know what it is,
Or at least why they threw it to us.
or what you say, why
But-
you give.
Yeah, actually, they would have already said why they'd thrown it to you. and answered your question before you asked it, because as they threw it to you and before you had the chance to inspect it, they were also saying, read, stupid tiny word.
Read, you stupid idiots.
Tell us. Must we burn? You tell us. That's their queen's sigil, a holy text from their home. No one will return there and live. We know this.
Oh, it's just a lot to take in right now, and Etho's kind of an idiot. Do tell them what it says on metal. Do we actually need to burn?
You can talk normally to those guys, right? You're telling
I have accented on both. This is not my native language. I'm translating from accented to accented.
Radio. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, I threw you.
Yeah, sorry. And then the last part of it was there's evil queen marking on it, shield, metal.
It's not an instruction manual. It's religious.
Can't it be both?
It's a story. I'm sorry,
What I
I've
say,
not done this in a
Kaja.
while, but the basic gist of the story, and Archie will go ahead and preach.
There is a corresponding Western version of the story. In it, it's more about an old king that rose to conquer Arate, and Arate locked his sons away, and his sons lie deep beneath the earth still. And yeah, you'd be able to recite the passages. Comparative theology. Forerunners of philosophy right here. I hope you're all writing books in your downtime, because you'll be this world's Thomas Aquinas's and what have you. But much more badass.
What's the preaching? Because you're gonna get the biggest eye roll from Etho ever, followed by the worst description ever. So be careful what you tell me.
So I think Archie is literally just telling the stories, but everybody else can hear that Archie is being very, very sarcastic about this. Like Archie's like doing the preaching, but Archie's also now, I don't even want to say like a non-believer. It's just now he knows what God is and he's pissed about it. I'm sorry, what Arate is, and he's pissed about it.
So you pretty much just do a really mocking religious ritual.
Yeah.
And tells the story.
And tells the story.
Tells the
like
story,
tells the pertinent story.
But your tone is utter contempt for it.
But the tone is utter contempt. Yes.
I will translate from accented to accented back to them in a very even more even more argumentative tone, because this is such bullshit.
Did you add that I think it's bullshit?
No, I give an even bigger eye roll description to the giants.
Why are you
So
dance around? Why you make your stupid noises? Do we burn or not? We say burn. Give us reason not, or you will see.
Kaja, they really want to burn them. If we don't, unless you give good reason not to.
If we burn them, we don't have the evidence that we need to build an army to fight them.
They might not like us sending an army up here.
They call us up here for a reason.
Like, what happens if we don't, like, what happens if we don't burn them?
I'll ask, what happens if no burn?
More come. More spread.
More come.
Soon,
Then we should probably burn them.
tribe of...
Thank you!
You may
We
take...
could just pack up now.
Yeah, I guess so. Or unless were they gonna actually tell us anything, or just yell at us?
I forgot to mention something pretty important as well. On the shield. Everyone's at a glance at that shield now, right?
No.
Yeah, Katya hasn't really looked at it.
Yeah, Tian is just planning on taking an engraving of it or rubbing of it later.
Okay, you all don't really care at the minute then.
I mean, there's
Two of us
giants
do.
making angry
There-
noises.
Yeah,
Hmm.
not my foremost concern. No.
Yes,
Two of us were just looking very intently at the shield.
pretty much.
I'll examine it. I'm not doing anything. And it's a weird metal. I like weird metals.
What am I on about? Archie rolled his area knowledge Keem. This thing's a map of Keem. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a map. This is Keem.
It's like a magic eye picture. You have to get yourself at the right angle. And
All the words blur together and become a map.
yep,
It's easier if you don't actually read it.
there you go. You were focusing too hard on the individual words, Maker, and then when you zoom out, you see it. The coastline. And it seems like a few choice words mark potential locations. You definitely make out, the biggest city in Keem, the one that never got sacked by Crusaders for sure.
story has to do with. The story differs apparently, but it has to do with evil being locked away. And there's a map behind the words on here.
Oh,
And I think there are a few locations here. You can tell the giants that this gives us the information we need to perhaps deal with whatever this problem is. And we'll be able to leave and do that. But we might want a bit more information first about what's been happening up here.
Looks at Katya for
she nods.
this gives things we need to know. And what was the second part of that? Sorry.
Need more information about what's been happening up here.
But we need information about what happened, what's been going on.
After sun fall from sky,
The sun fell down
and rose again.
and then lifted up. She looks at the group that was there when that happened. Knowingly.
Nods.
Something changed.
It
came.
Things change. The monsters came. Or monster came.
Mother tribe is gone.
The head tribe of giants dead.
More giants than can count dead.
Butchered of their people.
These things grow strong. All
The
mountains
monsters grow
connected.
stronger. The mountains are connected somehow.
They have blood beneath us. And it
The mountains
runs
have
with
blood.
these beasts.
And the creatures travel their veins.
They are one. She, looks a pack like no wolf.
They are like a giant pack of one mind.
Is the map of like where they're imprisoned, like locked up?
Maybe we'd need to investigate it a lot more.
I figured ask them. Do they know what's the map of?
Did you know this was metal was map?
Mm. The giants frown. Your map's useless. No. Is map of
Dumb
here?
giants.
No, they do not know it was map.
Okay. What did they want to tell us?
Anything else you wanted to tell us when you called for us? Or was that it?
You must leave the north if you want to live. We will be doing it.
If we don't leave the north, we will all die as they are going to do. Or not die, but leave.
The
They're
south.
gonna leave?
The south is
They
hot
go south.
and lacks stone, but it is the only way for our people to survive.
They're all going south, leaving the mountains.
South as in where our people are, or south as in Kiam?
We go to the big water.
They go to ocean.
We make house on beach like old ancestor. Before humans came.
They make houses on beach.
We live with human.
So Etho's been kind of dead-faced a little bit, but she cracks the biggest smile at this next line and goes, "They're moving in with the humans."
Oh, neat. Which ones?
Which ones?
All of us,
That's
our
right.
tribe, those we have sent word to, those we have seen, we all go south. It is agreed at the last moot.
Every giant is moving southward.
No, I didn't mean which
Which
giants are moving.
humans?
Which humans are they moving in with?
You crossing ocean or are you staying on land?
We cannot cross the big water.
Staying here. So
Salt Dock is probably where they'll end up if they follow this river south.
Salt Dock, Eldritch people. She's just ear to ear smiling at this whole part of it.
We go till we hit the big water. We live with human. Hopefully these things happy with their mountains.
Yeah, they're moving in with you all.
Seems like a perfectly reasonable plan that can't backfire in the least.
Alright, perhaps we should really get back to Salt Dock, explain the situation, and then someone else can deal with this while we try to. Katya was already planning to go to Kiam, right? So we could go find out what the issue is with these monsters.
That's true.
But first, I think we need to burn. She points to the fire and looks at the guys. Dangerous to keep alive or keep around.
Can you ask them how the mother comes back or something? Like,
How does Mother return and know?
They are calling to her, even now. You cannot hear it, but if you watch, you cannot bind them. They will break free, especially from your puny human binds. They grow too fast. They will simply grow through binds.
That one, alive, is calling silent song to Mother, and will break free of your contraption. The others call silently to Mother.
Have they seen this happen?
Do you think they would say to if they have not seen?
I haven't been to
Yes.
Kiam, but I knew the story. Shield.
If for no other reason than preventing conflict, I think we should kill the animals.
A giant goat's just kind of looking at you with two dead eyes. PM.
Listen to that one, she points over. How do you say your name, Colin? Pachen?
Pian.
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 So
Like
I'm
pronounced
Pian.
like peon.
Okay, Peon. Or
Etho,
masculine.
I'm just wondering if this is a superstition, a story, or something they have experienced with recent events.
She has said that the great tribe has been butchered.
Most stories started off with some grain of truth.
Experienced as in, like, they saw them. Not calling visibly, but summon it anyways.
The general gist you've picked up, Etho, is that they didn't even know about these things. The first time they ever saw them was a few days after the sun left.
Yeah, like, she's gonna say, they seen. They see.
Meh.
Could you just ask them, though, to verify? I'm happy with it if they've seen it.
I know. Fine. Have you seen happen to the giants?
Yes. And it will happen
Yes.
again. If you want to see, it's
And
simply disobey
if you
us.
idiots want to happen to you, keep arguing.
Suddenly there
gotcha,
is
friends.
an audible screech, I think, from one of the tied up ones. I just said,
There's only one tied up one, but yeah.
I think there's two.
I'm pretty
Right,
sure
I'm
there's
convinced.
two. And they were like,
Katya?
a crowd of birds stood around it who scream and jump back, shout over at you all. Like, fellas,
Pian walks over and
milady.
hefts his glaive.
Katya?
Kill, good.
Give them some room.
Giant takes a huge step. She just walks over you, Etho. Big, huge, long step.
Alright, I'll give the order then. Kill them.
Yeah, because that's what Pian was waiting for.
That's what Micah was waiting for.
There's such a thing as rank and duty and honour and the king's word.
It's all meaningless.
Yeah.
Have
She
some more of that
appreciates it,
nihilism.
even
to
if
him.
she's not good at it.
When I say stuff like that, you absolutely should consider it the voice in your head, Archie.
All of that shit is meaningless.
It seems like the tied up one will get murdered while it screams. The tied up ones.
Yeah, we had two.
Niran observes. Good. Snegan would have followed her and help her drag him over. We burn. And you're dead. Separate fire if you must. But burn they must. Have your...
Separate fire does sound better.
That was in Giant, right?
It is in
Oh, yeah,
Giant,
fair.
but
Sorry.
give me an IQ check. If you succeed by 2, you pick up a gist, because she is trying to speak Eldresh as well.
Nope.
Ian
That's a
figured it out.
dexterity check, but what's your
Oh,
IQ?
that is a, but that also would have beaten my IQ.
There you go. Smart, dexterous guy. Something sus about that PM. Yeah, you pick it up. Saying you can have a separate fire if you want, but they've got to burn too. She tries real hard. She squints at all of you. She says, "Dead have egg."
I think Archie nods and starts going and gathering supplies to build a pyre.
You can look for egg, but no find. Until appear. Beast. Burn. Only way. Anyone got area knowledge, Frost Veil, or I'll take an area knowledge for Ettendun at like a -2. Giants typically also don't burn their dead.
I am rolling
Oh,
terribly today.
You hear
Okay.
Aoife say your name.
Must
That was
mean
with the
something in her language.
-2.
Very who?
I mutter something. You might not hear it. That was specifically Katya. Oh, do you not have access to that language?
I see that now, but it's just I wasn't looking there, and Luke, and it wasn't specified who.
Oh, I was asking Lee or Katya.
I don't know what you mean. Kachi does in fact have tuning, if that's what you're asking.
Luke, never mind.
We go.
You should have seen the translation. Anyway.
I see the translation.
Yeah, no, it's I see the name, but I don't see the rest of it translated.
That means that you don't have access to that character sheet.
No,
Okay,
I've not
we'll
set
fix
that up
later.
properly yet, because I wasn't sure which languages everyone had, and I could not be bothered to open everyone's sheets and do it like that. Best way to do it would be to go through everyone at once.
We'll do it later.
It does seem like they still work if they just get set up properly. So yeah, a burning will commence, and this is pretty much where a good time for a lot of shield reading comes up, and this is where you manage to get the religious parts of it together. And it ends up being ironic that Archie had done his ritual about the end of the world, because this is clearly what that is, but the Keemtani one, and different, written in all screwy language. The prepositions are all screwy. My rainy day chest of crafts. shouldn't try and quote things. Mhm. So you do indeed burn them.
And more importantly, people are actually aware of what's going on. The people that made their checks.
Correct. While you are, going back over to camp and grabbing bodies and stuff, the people who you've already spoken to will, the people you've been traveling with, will be like, what's going on? In particular, the Kimtani merchant guy and his guard, who was in a big fight with this winged one.
So it sounds like the monster things are coming out of the mountain, and it's driving all the giants away from the north. So like I think they're gonna head south now. And they gave us a map that either has like cages that we're supposed to leave alone, or places that we need to go and clear to to make sure they don't turn into the same thing as this mountain.
Mhm. Well,
Can someone else describe that better?
no, that. Okay. May I see this map?
Oh, they have it over there. She points.
I think Peon has got a piece of paper over it and is rubbing some charcoal over it.
Everyone with IQ is huddled around, probably though.
You could easily take it back to camp. After the giants see that the bodies are burning good, Niram will say, "We have no time. We must go assist in the burning of our brother."
Isa will nod,
We meet
point, and give general directions.
we meet two of the tribes and carry on south. We meet again, I think.
Oh, Etho, can you ask them how many giants?
How many in your and other tribes going south? How many left?
Of the forest we are but a wood that remains. Saplings.
'Quite a few.
600?
In the hundreds.
Oh, okay. That should work out great then.
I can see nothing going wrong with this.
Me too.
Yeah, they'll be welcomed with open arms.
I mean, giants are probably great workers and stuff, right?
I will look at the leader woman before she goes and say, "I will tell the idiot king that you all come, but these people are Kajo and don't expect a warm or non-fight welcome."
You tell them we come.
I will.
You tell them we fight to defend ourselves. You tell them there is no
Oh.
need to fight.
I will
Us.
absolutely tell them that.
You tell them prepare for fight against this. You tell them also go south. Build beach house. We help build beach house. We need to be as far away from this as can be.
She'll give the traditional goodbye giant whatever.
She looks around before she does that. She says, "Anyone only scratch, bite, spit?" Raises an eyebrow.
I would know this, Luke. The one, or was anyone actually hurt by these things, or?
She takes the time and says that fully in Eldresh to all of you.
Archie's horse.
There is one survivor.
Horse and man with missing leg.
Watch them close. I no make war with you tonight, but watch them close.
Was that an Eldritch or a Giant?
Burn if dead. That's in Giant, but then in Eldritch, she spends a few minutes thinking and saying, and she manages to get out. When they
I'll
die,
translate.
burn them, is what she says in Eldritch. And yeah, it's like the best thing she's managed to say all night. When they die, burn them.
Micah will walk up to Katya and, speaking softly and quickly in Uslan, she can't be there when we explain this to the king. She'll mess things up. This needs to be handled carefully.
The king's gonna have questions.
And answer not her.
I mean, she didn't tell us everything. Like,
Don't say it, but what's your surname?
and?
Them coming south is not good.
Out of character, can you repeat that?
Them coming south is not good.
I mean, no, but what does it have to do with who delivers the news?
You could say she has the savoir-faire of one of the giant goats. That's a perfectly acceptable statement, I think.
Something to that effect. I didn't know how to express that.
They have formed Mecha Shiva.
It's alright, they move faster that way.
They do.
The four of them ride the two goats.
Correct. The two goats are on the bottom. It is a pyramid of sorts. It's like those guys with the mustaches and the leather vests who ride the tiny motorcycles.
King is going to need to make decisions that are very important, and I fear that she might trigger him to be more combative about this.
What do you have against her?
She's very rude.
I mean, you're not wrong about that.
And he's the king.
And if he tolerates her, it's his choice. I mean, we're going to be delicate how we tell it, but she needs to be around for follow-up questions and stuff.
Oh no, let's move. People looking at the shield are at the table. This conversation between Katya and Micah happens as they're heading back into the camp. People with shields have started already. People with the shield have gone ahead, sat down at this table, and this guy is.
Michael will just give a concerned look and then head there.
Looks like
Concerned look
Utho's
to Katya.
gone and climbed into a wagon.
Yeah, Katya doesn't look happy about anything that's going down, but she does appear to be underestimating the danger of what you're suggesting.
This guy will point out that yeah, this is ancient Kimtani that, you know, he knows scholars that'd be able to read you exactly what this says, who live in the great city, which he points at the word that says, scourge is the best translation. Sort of a general, wide-reaching threat with negative connotations. And then he'll also point out that, like, marked as cities, there are the 5 ancient cities in addition. So there's, no, 5 in total. There's the capital and 4 other ancient cities that exist or existed. One of them did get sacked by the Crusaders and destroyed, and another one got destroyed hundreds of years ago. But the capital and the other 2 have existed for thousands of years. The history is like lost to a certain degree at points in history because, you know, various armies and kings have ruled them over time. But they've existed as long as anyone can remember. I should have
Well, look,
definitely planned words for what the city's lined up to better. How about we take a quick break while I improvise some?
Fair enough.
We've been going an
Okay.
hour. I could do another drink, a sneak past the father-in-law. Yeah, alright. No complaints. I'm going to BRB. 5, 4. Why am I counting down a BRB? We'll be right back, everyone. We are back. Long break. We were just playing around. Yeah, so the giants have told you to burn your dead, burn the creatures. You were hesitant at first. You were like, we need these creatures to show the king. But the giants were like, show him this, you bitches. And they threw down a big shiny shield. It looks like a shield anyway, except it's got no hand holdy. It's in fact smooth on the bottom. So it's shaped like, I don't even know. It's, you know, rather than concave like a shield would be, it is almost like a slice of a sphere.
Convex.
No, it's convex. Yeah, did I say concave?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a shield is normally convex on one side and concave on the other. This is
Yeah.
Or look at the inside.
this is concave on one side and completely flat on the other. Convex on one side and completely flat
Yes.
on the other. Bleh.
So which one's this then?
The shield. The item.
Yes.
It's convex on one side and flat on the other. Impossibly smoothly flat on the other side. The map is on the convex side, and it's only ever so slightly convex. So it has got quite a narrow edge that you will notice is incredibly sharp. In fact,
Okay.
you should have already noticed that. That's my bad. You're all wearing quite thick gloves, though. Except for the smith. Yeah, the smith is gloveless, shirtless in the freezing weather. I don't need HT checks because everyone who needs them's got the jackets that give you like a +5, and you're at like -2s to 3s. So, and it's also the middle of the night, so I assume that you're all around about half FP anyway, honestly. In the absence of any kind of stimulants or general ultra vigor, which actually some of you have probably got and I've forgot about in the moment.
Did you draw that in the red there?
I did.
Okay, that's
Wrong.
concave.
The other way.
That's why I drew it, so that someone would correct me.
Lord Jesus, yeah, it's like, how do we even not just do this in the first place? There you go. Except obviously it's much smoother than that. Less slug-like, more Let's not get drawn in. We're drawing the mound. That's pretty good.
Alright.
Not flat enough.
It's a half circle.
Nah. Nah.
Well, it's okay. Whatever.
It's like a millionth of a huge circle. There you go.
Thank you, green.
Perfect. Perfect. Behold it.
Adulger, I would love to hear what you have to say about the metal and the manufacturer.
Well, let me take a peek at it. Do you want me to roll metallurgy? I got a couple skills in my work here. One second. Metallurgy, smith, iron.
Give me metallurgy. I'm sure you could use metallurgy to identify a metal.
Success by 5.
You have never seen this metal before. It's very shiny, like polished silver.
Ooh.
Polished to a mirror, even. It's like mercury shiny, in fact. Quicksilver shiny. But it seems to be at least as hard as steel, maybe harder. The edge on it, give me a DX check. If you crit fail, you might lose a finger. No. The edge on it is extremely sharp. You could shave a baby with it. Not that you should be shaving babies. You will also notice as you're inspecting it close, something else that the others might have not noticed, or have definitely not noticed. Some of the writing seems to be cut straight in, well, not even the writing, just certain designs around the edges. It is almost like this is a clean cut off a giant sphere.
Hello. Do you say sphere or spear?
Sphere.
With an H.
Oh yeah, sphere, not spear. Sphere. Big ball.
Okay, thank
Or
you.
at
Sorry,
least-
the accent got me.
Or at least something bigger. Like there is more. It's missing something off the edge, potentially.
Well, it's a metal I don't recognize. Appearance similar to quicksilver, possibly harder than steel, though. But it's most likely cut from something bigger. We might be missing some design on here. Impressive stuff.
Definitely harder than steel, you could confirm, because you wouldn't be able to scratch it with a little piece of steel that you've got.
Yeah, you'll take out a little piece of steel and scratch it. Ooh, definitely harder than steel. Fascinating.
It scratches your very hard piece of steel.
Well, I have a concern. If that's harder than steel, and it's been cut off of a bigger piece, what did the cutting?
Is
That
it in character or?
Yes.
is something I am very interested in finding out.
The flat surface you would reckon is a cut, like you've sawed through metal before, and it's similar to that, but it's way smoother than any cut you've ever made through metal with a saw.
Somewhat similar to a saw, but smooth. Way smoother than would be possible with a saw.
It's like if you used your best saw to cut your softest metal, or like to cut some brass, you know, and then polished it some. Except, yeah, this thing's harder than steel.
It's like I used my best saw to cut some lead or other soft metals, and then polished it heavily. Fascinating, fascinating. He'll start mumbling to himself as he examines it some more.
Giants definitely didn't do that. Archie, you recall Edgar's sword, cutting through everything.
Yeah, that sucker's buried somewhere in the mountains. Only Archie knows where it is.
You recall it because a voice tells you about the murder you committed with it.
That wasn't murder. That guy deserved it.
Just like you deserve what you're gonna get when you go east. Go to that land that you dream about every night. The place that you and your kind destroyed, burnt to the ground. See how they like you. See how they welcome you
Hey,
back.
hey. None of that.
Archie like
Did what I could.
slaps his face a bit, mutters to himself. Aaron will make like a concerned look at Archie. He'll agree that there is more to this missing, but as far as parts of Keem that are like kind of at the edge, if it is part of a larger map, it's kind of like deserty region.
The desert. Well, at least it's warm. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted. I think we should put this all away and get the hell out of here at first light.
Agreed. Micah will head off then and find a guard and tell him to watch the injured guy.
In terms of guards, there's kind of the injured guy. The rest are,
Eaton?
yeah, either Samira, who would have been resting. She's in her tent, actually. Yeah, she were in a big fight. Would just be Fredbits with the spears of the guys you just burned. In fact, yeah, a couple of Fredbits. So yeah, a Fredbit would be about. Let's give him a name. Godbit has donned the armor of the dead South Scout and is carrying his pole arm.
And that, after getting that dealt with, Micah's gonna head to bed, and I, the player, will be back in a couple minutes because it is wet food time.
Wet food time. Emily needs a wet food. Oh no, there's a banana. Right. Yeah. Hesitant to skip on too much. Next morning I'd roll around unless anyone else wants a pre-bed scene.
I mean, it looked like Katya wandered over Etho. I don't know if that was anything, but
It looks like she did.
It is. It's not super important, but we can definitely play it out. But or let me give you the gist of it.
let's just do it. Let's do it.
Sure. Hey, Etho. Thanks a lot earlier. But you did a good job in a tuning.
I do what I can.
Sorry, I distracted Terror at the last moment there.
No worries. So she sort of leans against the wheel and sort of watches them do their academic talk over there for a little bit. But if Etho doesn't say anything right away, she is sort of building up the nerve to say something else.
Etho's a little bit pouty right now, so she's not saying a whole lot. But
You can ignore that for now.
All right. Well, given the pouting, are you okay?
what? Fine. Just they know. Listen. And she like gestures over to the group. I say they know. Listen.
Well, I don't think they understood.
As long as you understood. That's fine. I keep forgetting we're in a toonie, so I can speak non-accented.
Yeah,
As long as you understand,
I'm
that's
trying
absolutely
to
fine.
stutter, but you don't have to.
They don't matter. I mean, okay, Archie kind of matters.
I didn't understand for a bit, but we got there.
Again, as long as you understand, that's what matters.
She nods. You did put it on kind of thick, though.
What did I put on thick?
Katya does like the eye rolly thing, like imitating your mannerisms when you're being sarcastic about us. Maybe flips her hair a little bit in a manner that's reminiscent of Etho.
She just stares a little dumbfounded because she doesn't know she does it.
Oblivious. Do you have oblivious?
I don't, but she doesn't know she does it.
That does cheer Katya up a bit. She's was a little grumpy earlier as well. We can tell when you're bad mouthing us.
Oh.
It's fun. It's okay most of the time, but don't do that around the king.
I don't speak when we're around the king. Remember, the rule was I don't talk unless you tell me to around the king, because Because if I say something to the dumb man, I'll get murdered.
Whoever invented that rule.
That was
smart.
you. You told me that.
Good for me. She smiles.
I distinctly remember last campaign. I told her.
Yeah, that does sound really familiar when you say it like that. But I'm highly susceptible, I think, to brainwashing probably. So, or
Might be a false memory, but
gentle suggestion.
I can see that. That can be.
It totally checks out.
It checks out, even if that's a retcon or whatever.
Out of character, that's everything that I wanted to cover.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything before bed? Anyone got any disadvantages I should take note of as they go to bed, or try to? Anyone? I'm thinking Adalga, are you curious or anything like that I forgot about?
I'm not curious, though I was going to have a scene of me just drinking, and
Just
then having to
drinking.
roll hangover in the morning.
Okay.
The
Aye.
injured guy is still with us?
The injured guy with one leg, yeah.
Yeah, I think Peon spends the evening kind of hanging out near him, keeping an eye and sticking his head out of the tent and walking around every now and then.
Does anyone have well, never mind. You'd say if you wanted to try and treat him.
So Katya will check in on the injured horse occasionally. She doesn't stay up all night with it or anything like that, but when she is up, she checks in.
The wound isn't doing great, that's for sure. Like, it smells bad already. And on your last check, it stopped bleeding at least. Because like again, it were only really a scratch, but it has swole up real bad, and it looks really sore, and yeah, it's a bit stinky, starting to ooze a clear liquid.
That's not great.
And the horse itself, it seems alright. Not happy with its leg being touched around where it got scratched. The guy with the one leg is having sleep madness all night, which is a new term I've invented for when the father-in-law twitches like a puppy, which he does all the time. It's hilarious. So yeah, this guy's twitching and turning and tossing and clearly having some kind of dream about chasing rabbits, maybe. While his one leg kind of is there, and he rolls over onto it a bit and like goes but stays unconscious, and he's kind of highly sweaty and pretty feverish looking.
I think you're thinking of restless leg syndrome.
No,
Restless phantom leg syndrome.
this guy's straight up
This is
convulsing all over the place.
this is very much. There's actually a disorder for this. I can't remember what it is, but when you start moving around in your sleep because of your dreams and stuff,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Essentially.
There is a legitimate.
Well, he's got it
I
for
watched
sure.
a
The
documentary
father-in-law.
on it.
This guy's doing it right now. You know, waving his arms, occasionally muttering stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wake him up, but I'll keep an eye on him. Just because of what the giant said.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Adalga is drinking. There's a fair bit of booze left. Have you been drinking every night on this journey?
People are drinking. I'm probably joining them. Yeah.
Uh, they would be a bit of it. People are shook, so some of the Berts would be drinking, but not loads of them, and then they'd head to bed. And yeah, everyone's pretty shook up is the general vibe. You know, they watched Fred Burt die. Godbert's straight up a night now or something.
But by the way, Luke, we didn't roll a fear check for those things. We probably should have, but
Yeah, you
Are-
really should have.
but is Etho now immune to that shit? We're unfaceable, or but since we didn't roll a fear check, is it
Yeah, Etho would now be
Still-
immune to it because of your
okay?
special perked thing. As if it's because I was so focused on all the horses because they legit had frightens animals, but Dodoy they also frighten people. Madness. Look at that perfect hemisphere there over to the left. That is exactly what it looks like. Let's zoom in on it. Lovely. Lovely.
It looks like we're getting all sidetracked. Maybe next morning then.
So I'm actually weirdly quite good at a thing that I forgot about. Do you mind if I make a veterinary check?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
I forgot about the whole horse thing. I actually bought stuff for that shit. So when she checks in on the horse.
Success by 4, and I
So at the
need...
very least, she can try to clean the wound.
Yeah, no, you're legit treating for the horse overnight, and it's a cavalry one, right? That's what Archie were riding?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Alright, well, the journey back begins. It's gonna be a long one.
Oh.
That's my hangover roll. And I have horrible hangovers.
Yeah, the next couple of mornings will be more important than the rest of the journey, actually.
Are we on horseback, by the way, or how are we traveling?
There's wagons, there's horses. Most of the Berts are walking. You're moving at like 1 to 3.
But we're still on stuff, right?
Yeah, you don't have to be on
yes.
foot if you don't want to be. There's plenty of room for
Okay.
all of you to sit, for sure.
Oh no, she'll want to be on foot because when she travels for a bit, she gets like really
You guys would also be looked to, I'm sure, by everyone to be the new scouting folks and generally keep the wagon safe people.
Absolutely.
Given that you're actual scouts. Although, no, you have still got, yeah, notable expeditioners.
We're definitely low on regular guards.
Willem and Carl, they're both fine, and they didn't get injured when the dragon attacked. Samira is not doing great. She's clearly, you know, she says she didn't get wounded at all in the fight, but she does not look well the next day. But neither does Adalga. Adalga looks hideous. And also, one of the Berts is really unwell today and has to ride in the back of the wagon. Godbert, who has donned the fallen scout's armor, comes up to you, catch you, and says, "Milady,
Mm-hmm.
Josbert, they are rather unwell. They must rest this day. Apologies. We will make
Oh
up
no.
their work."
Have them ride in the cart. Yeah.
Of course, milady. And yeah, you see Samira walking alongside Aaron's caravan for a while, but then she disappears inside it in the afternoon the next day.
At some point, Kachi will mention to people, it seems like something's going around.
No response.
I
One
feel
second,
okay.
I'm having to figure out a Norse translator.
Okay, so by evening you would
Feel
make it
good.
to the Frostvale camp.
But he will reply, I feel like crap.
Maybe you should ride in the cart with the others then. Take it easy.
Shakes her head. No. The cart.
All right.
Almost as bad as the ship.
You do realize we're gonna be taking a ship east, right?
I got confused for a second.
Yes.
No, yeah. Etho does look like dog shit.
I mean, we can try to get a bigger one though. They're usually more comfortable.
Aaron, with his magic serendipity, he overhears ship. Yes. Haha, a ship, you say? So you are going east. I would take you. I would explore this map with you if you'd let me.
I mean,
I would have you, my friend.
it seems only fair to me.
Very good. Very good.
I suspect you're gonna want to be there when we inform the king. He'll probably put you on the. It sounds good to me.
I expect to be well compensated for our venture, milady.
I'm sure you will, but I mean, I don't actually worry about that stuff. And she sort of waves it off. He's aware that she doesn't actually spend money. She has a person that spends it for her.
He has
But
it. Yeah,
she
yeah.
also has a reputation for spending money very freely.
He knows the situation. He smiles, nods, giggles a bit at the inside joke between people who are generally better than everyone else, you know. Although you probably slightly biased to not see him particularly as better than anyone else because he is, a low-born merchant still, essentially. Just an extremely rich one.
As far as Koch is concerned, he's kind of a middle ground between like noble and regular person.
Okay, so he's like, yeah, a relatable regular person, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Weirdly, kind of like Archie, but in a different way.
Thanks.
So, yeah, you reach the Frostvale camp, and when you get there, you're greeted by another caravan of sorts, a military one. So this place was fairly deserted when you left it, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago maybe. And now it is full of soldiers, and also has the tent and banner of Sir Wyatt Vane present. If anyone's got current affairs or just area knowledge at minute, I'd pretty much tell you what he might be doing around here.
What did you say though? The white vein?
Wyatt Vane is his name. He is a guy, a dude. So it's the banner of Lord Vane and Sir Vane. Area knowledge would tell you who he is, and that he has got a big grudge against the Giants.
Wait, it was a banner?
Yeah,
Right.
his general tent, like
His
it's
banner.
yeah, it's clearly him and his guys. Like the soldiers here, mostly wearing shields painted with his logo. What's his logo? A weather vane, a white weather vane, or no, it's a white vane across a black shield. Yeah.
You'd probably let him know to expect the giants and not to engage them.
Yeah,
Says
he's not gonna take
Peon,
that well.
completely not knowing his history.
He's not gonna take that well. He's probably here to cause trouble with them, actually.
Should I kill him?
You've met this guy before. I feel like you know you shouldn't kill him.
That's why she said, should I kill him?
No.
She's met the guy.
No matter how much we want to.
Alright, but if it ends up going badly, I'm gonna kill him.
I'll take his guards.
Can someone go talk to his people and find out what they're actually up to here?
That'd be Micah's job. Essentially.
I definitely should not go talk to them.
Probably not.
I'll go see.
You in fact would even see in the camp probably a like religious, preacher's tent. Preacher's tent. A church. There's a churchman here amongst them.
I should
Is
go
this-
kill him.
I'll help.
I'll help.
We're not killing everyone just because they're with the church.
Mm,
Find out what they're up to. See if I have to actually give them an order or not.
Okay, with that done. Luke, is this the same? Is this that next day or what?
Yeah, the next evening. So this is one night. Well, yeah. In
Okay.
fact, yeah.
this was supposed to be our next camp.
So it's even like 16 hours later. 16 to 18 hours later. 9 p.m.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as I said, Mike will go to speak with him.
You'll be granted access to his tent straight away. They recognize who you are, what you're wearing. And you two would recognize each other for sure. He's been to court in the last year. They'd be like,
Oh, could you just clarify, like, who is he politically?
So politically, he is pretty much just the highest knight in the realm, really, that doesn't directly work for the king. He got granted most of the Frost Vale.
Okay, so he is nobility now.
Yeah, he is nobility. He should be a lord, rather than just a sir.
Okay.
And pretty much his holdings are the Frost Vale, but he got granted them only a few months before the sun fell. He was in the process of building a huge castle out east, but that's all gone to shit recently. And he blames the giants, mostly. And he's currently out defending the realm. He will remain the bastion through winter from Frostvale. And he's pretty much arrived here now. And so, yes. Well, I heard you'd gone.
Make a mistake with her introduction to him.
See how he
Cares
does.
about that.
Yeah, he might not even care. No, he don't care. He's happy to see you. He smiles. It's like, so, has seen any giants?
Yes,
Oh, how far?
a day's travel.
How many?
A few there, but countless more. Is this encampment here related to the giants?
This is simply our northernmost point. I intend to hold here for the winter. We're going to settle in, perhaps expand. I expect many giants will have to pass through here. We hope to dissuade them.
How many people are here, did she see?
At the minute,
100.
there's maybe 100 people here, and 200 animals, 50
Do a very,
wagons.
can she very roughly estimate, like from history, like give a very rough estimate without failure, how many people it takes to kill a giant?
It's not enough for hundreds. Like, they might manage to kill a dozen or so giants if they came through one at a time. As,
I got it.
as soon as there's like 4 or more giants, you're gonna get a lot of dead people.
You'll just ask him the question that she couldn't remember. Do you know how many people it took to take down a giant when this land was being settled?
He will name a historical figure and say that his squad of 12 killed 4 giants during the Great Wars.
You don't have enough men here. We're heading back to the king, and there may be hundreds of giants. They want to move south to escape a new danger that's arisen up there. I don't think it's safe for you to stay here with the giants coming, nor do I think you'll necessarily be safe from this new danger. Strange monsters. Known from Kim.
Oh. And then I'm sure you explain the strange monsters. But feel free to do some explaining if you wanted to. I didn't want to also cut away all your explaining.
Oh, wave away that explaining. I think of them, I just think of that other dinosaur that I really like. And it's nothing like that.
Well, he believes everything you say, and he got an amazing reaction roll from. Yeah, so.
Did you add my modifiers? I have them all listed in my bio and MISC
Oh,
tab.
I should get to your modifiers because, yeah.
If he's attracted to her, +1. Another +1 from charisma. Negative from status, if that's relevant in this context.
No, I think it'd be a bonus from status in this context. So, yeah.
Several.
Like, in fact, enough to hit 20, so he's inclined to believe you and be a bit concerned.
Generally in the future, I always put them in that section.
Yeah,
So you'll have easy access.
I've looked at them before. I should have just dragged them up. Archie,
Anyways.
is that a failure or a success by?
That is a success by.
Is that stealth?
Uh-huh.
It's well, let me see. It's contested. Yeah, it's doable. You get into the tent. I mean, it's late. He's in there right now. So you manage to get in, and his back is to you. No one sees you going in, and he doesn't turn around. He's got himself a tiny little desk set up out of flimsy wood. Everyone give me general perceptions. Because I'm pretty sure Archie said he were going off to hunt.
Hmm. Katya
No.
is not paying attention.
Wow.
I think Peon may notice and slip away to follow.
Pian, you do notice, but it doesn't seem like it based on that perception roll, but I know you've got others that are better, I think.
Yes.
So I think it's just Pian that notices Archie slipping into the churchman's tent.
Oh, I can't go in there. I'm not following you into a church.
But that's where you see him go.
Okay.
Yeah, but something unholy is probably about to happen.
And so yeah, the guy is writing in a big book. Got an ink
Is
pot.
this not the tent? The rolls were secret, so.
No, it's a different tent. Sorry. This guy's got a reverend.
He's his personal priest.
Yeah, his personal priest is traveling with him, and it is that tent that Archie has entered.
Does Archie know the guy?
IQ check. No. Let me just decide. Yeah, you've met him in passing for sure. Worked at the cathedral in Salt Dock. So you only briefly met him.
Okay. Know what he's writing.
Only one way to find out. Stab.
No, not murderous, but
I mean, it's probably just, keeping a journal or diary of the expedition. Thinking he'll be some famous author one day. People will be reading this book about the journey north where he watched Sir Wyatt Vane slay 50 giants.
no, I think Archie's just gonna knock him out and take a look around real quick.
Knock him out. Telegraphed all out to the back of the head.
Yeah, like to the back of the head, just
With a blunt
not
instrument.
not enough to kill him, hopefully, but
Roll me a.
I'm pretty sure this is a maneuver.
Just roll me thrust, please. Oh no, actually, you should roll the attack,
can
or at least
I,
another stealth, maybe.
18.
Yeah, give me another stealth to get close to him, and then I don't really need the roll to attack because it'll be positive 18, but you should make it in case it's an 18. See if he crits to notice someone walking up behind him. No, he's not turned around as you're up behind him with your blunt thing, probably maybe just a fist.
probably like the pommel of his dagger.
Give me thrust crushing, I want to say. And you could make it all out strong. You do have to aim for the skull, actually.
Alright, so this is just a straight up 3D or D6 for thrust.
One damage.
Let's think. What is it? 3 evaluates as your max?
Well, but if we do it all out strong too, that's plus 4. And no, that's just half damage. Like 1d6.
Yeah, I don't need the attack roll, I've decided. So how much damage total?
What, 3 plus, what, 2? So 5
5
down
damage.
to 3 for the...
Oh, right. Conditional injury calculator. Woo! Make it visible. So, this is just a normal guy. His max HP is 10.
this to the skull?
Yep, 3 penetrating damage, crushing to the skull. He's normal. No vulnerability. He's rolling versus pain. He gets a success, amazingly. No one will ever fail on a roll for pain. He's not already wounded.
I will.
Wound severity 1. Roll versus HT to remain conscious. He is unconscious.
That went well. It was a painless, unconscious blow.
I will copy and paste everything else because he's injured for 3 weeks because of this that you've just done to him.
Yeah,
Okay, bitch.
head injuries are not a safe way of incapacitating people.
It's
Merlin
medieval times.
from
What do you want
BBC's
from
Merlin?
me, dude?
Merlin from BBC's Merlin has no IQ left.
It's just Giles, right? Surely he's stumbling around like every boxer ever. That's
Fair enough.
hilarious. That's hilarious. It worked for sure.
Cool. And then, yeah, Archie will just have a look around.
Okay,
Read up on what he's writing.
so yeah, it's a journal. He's definitely talking up himself and Wyatt Vane. It's trite religious garbage. Nothing to write home
Okay.
about. And his handwriting's rubbish, and his illuminations leave much to be desired.
Okay. Yeah, and then generally just take a look around his tent, see if there's anything interesting.
He's got, his general religious traveling kit, so there are some notable and rare and expensive herbs and spices in his bag, and, like valuable gold rings and jewels on his person and in his pockets. He's generally got a bit of money lying around.
Penis canteen. Penis canteen.
He has got a wine skin / water skin.
You know what? Actually, that's a great idea. Archie pees in the canteen and then unties a couple of the tent holdings so that way
It blows down
Like, it's-
overnight.
no, so it like falls down right now,
Okay.
and when he wakes up, he thinks he just must have gotten a big stick to the head or something.
Give me one last stealth check for that, please, for your escape. Success by 5. Very impressive. And crit fail on the guard's perception. So yeah, it falls down and no one even notices that it's fallen down for like a good 30 seconds. There's like, wait, where's that guy's tank gone? Oh, Pian though, you see him coming out of there. The smell of fresh blood. Why did I say that?
And piss?
And piss. Yeah, the
Yeah,
smell of
urine,
fresh
yeah.
piss.
Yeah, that one was just childish, but
Yeah, he stinks basically.
Yeah, so I think Pian like
Stinks like a
pulls up
crimer.
next to him as he's sneaking away. Like,
Oh yeah, and you feel
I-
very sneaky, and this guy's like right over your shoulder. Suddenly.
should I ask what that was about?
no, you should not.
Fair enough. I'll keep my mouth shut, but I may ask you to return the favor in the future.
I'm fine with that.
Yep. All right. Pian like slaps him on the shoulder and takes off down another aisle.
That
Yeah,
church
and then-
guy doesn't immediately wake up when the guards try and rouse him. Seems a tent pole hit him mighty hard on the back of the head. And
That was petty and childish, and
it was hilarious to see what See it really work, and also to see that, you know, like, you probably gave this guy brain damage.
It went really well though.
Yeah. He might have had something that could have helped Archie. in his
Knocking down the
personal
tent was
mission.
genius.
Did you ever actually give me a search check?
Oh, you know what? I didn't.
Because, yeah, I'm
Because
realizing.
I don't actually have search. So we'll
You
just.
don't have search. Roll perception for me.
If you stole some of his gems, the guy would point fingers at the guards who helped him out, and it would be funny.
Yeah, success by 6. Success by 4 only. So you probably flipped through his journal, and you did mention flipping through his journal. You would see your name in there, or like, you know, there's loose leaves of paper in there, and as you pulled some of them out, you can see your name, and like a writ of excommunication, and, you know, wanted for trial for your crimes against the church.
You know what? Archie'll take and keep that.
And as well, there's like you know, a few old letters and things between him and various bishops across the kingdom.
Anything potentially helpful in Archie's personal mission?
I mean, give me just an IQ check if you've not got anything better you can argue. Success by 3, it's all vaguely incriminating in some way against the church, you know?
Against the church?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, could I have taken those and, like, made sure that the candle lit this section of tent on fire?
Ooh. Yeah, I'll allow it. For cinematic reasons. Skinematics. So yeah.
Cool.
A fire breaks out in the tent. In the church tent.
Let me just add vaguely incriminating church documents to my inventory.
Negligible weight. Like, altogether maybe half a pound. I don't know. Actually, no, maybe they do weigh a pound, because
Okay.
I don't know what I'm on about. It doesn't matter that much. You can put them down
Maybe
somewhere.
finish up the other conversation.
Ooh, what was the other conversation?
The characters were having a conversation about what to do with the whole army situation here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Sidetrack there.
would you suggest I abandon this post entirely? Treat with the giants when they come through? They're rather stupid. Warlike. They smash anything they don't understand.
Yes, and they will outnumber you. So, it would be better just to let them pass. But there's also another threat.
Yes, these things. I would return to my home. I have not been there in some months.
I
You
think
say,
perhaps set up sentinels, a watch in the Frost Vale to see if they come here. I'm worried that the giants have the right idea, though.
I'm inclined to agree with you. My men here are certainly not number enough to take on 100 giants. Not even 50. I was hoping we'd come across more along the lines of 4. Yes.
We'll have to decide what to do about this situation.
I'll post my best, most loyal few here. I'll retreat south for the winter. I shall post
Another
in
thing.
Rochelbor with the princess.
We were warned. Apparently, the larger monsters can find the smaller ones. So if you find a smaller one that's about a wolf size, you need to burn its corpse. and something might happen to people who are injured, so watch out if they get scratched or taken captive by these creatures.
Very well.
It's unclear. Our only translator was not keen on figuring out the details.
Do you have injured among you?
One, yes, we are keeping a careful watch on him.
I have a decent physician. Have him look at the man before you depart in the morning. We'll be
Certainly, we'll
following
find
in a
your
few
physician
days.
right away.
What was that, sorry?
Certainly, we'll find your physician right away. He lost a leg.
And then you hear some commotion outside as well. And he says, what's going on out there? But yes, I shall abandon this post. I have been thinking it's folly anyway, given this chill that's upon us last night. It was awful. I wasn't quite prepared for it. I'd forgotten, given the pleasant summer we had. Rochelbourg would be much more
Definitely.
desirable with the princess's hearths.
Alright, I'll deal to my affairs. And she'll head out.
You see people just putting a fire out where a tent had fallen down. And you would recognize a physician there as well, tending to a very KO'd looking church guy.
She'll stop there and ask him to visit them once he's done.
He will agree to.
And then she'll head back to the group.
Back to your camp, which is, like, just next to their camp. We've got a map for it now. It's snowy at the minute. But that's kind of just because it's white.
It's alright, eventually it'll be white because there's sand.
Yeah, it's just like blinding white sand.
Micah will go find Katya.
Welcome back.
Good news, apart from some commotion there.
Yeah,
First, their
sorry.
physician will take a look at our injured scout. See if
That
there's
is good
anything he
news.
can do.
Good job.
Second, he is going to withdraw from this region. He is not going to oppose the giants. We're not going to make an issue out of this before things get decided.
Really? She looks very surprised and a little skeptical. How'd you
He listens
convince
to
him of that?
reason.
Huh. I guess soldier to soldier, he has more respect. Good job.
Thank you. Micah will just head off to do whatever she would do at this point. Maybe help set up.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie, I need to make some GM checks real quick. Oh, fuck. While the physician is tending to the one-legged guy, he expires.
The physician.
No, the one-legged guy. Although that would be quite the turn of events.
A remarkably bad physician roll.
Is this very obvious that this happens?
Yeah. I mean,
Well, he's probably there anyways
fire
to
going.
Yeah, if
see
nothing
what
else,
was
the
happening.
physician showing up is probably obvious.
so yeah, it happens right here. I never properly named my silhouette tokens, so they're very difficult to find, and I keep neglecting to do that. But he's around, and he's tending to the one-legged guy, who is still vaguely unconscious and, you know, in and out of sleep. And he will start twitching horribly while the physician is looking over him and he takes the bandages off the leg to change them, and it's not bleeding, but it is horribly infected. And yeah, the guy sweats and twitches and convulses and screams as weakly, like, "Ugh," and then finally dies. And the physician's like, "Oh, this man was right on the edge. How long ago was he injured? A week, 2?
A night ago,
What? This infection
we were
is..."
informed to burn the bodies. Micah will call some people over.
Some Berts will come over. Some King's Berts. Although actually, this guy were probably a King's Bert himself. And yeah, you were sent mainly as a Lone Ranger, so but people will come over. They
He's
respect.
passed. We need to do the same thing as last night.
They look at each other and nod solemnly. Start gathering wood to prepare a fire.
Could we get him out of the camp first? Just all those cryptic warnings.
They immediately drag him outside a camp and to the edge and throw his bed sheet over him, his bedroll.
Micah will stay near there.
It takes about an hour to get the fire going hot enough to throw a body on.
Luke, how bad was
We
the
already
smell
had a
of that
fire. There was a
infection?
tent.
That's fairly true. So they could just drag over burning logs, I suppose. What did you say, sorry, Tara?
How bad was the smell of that infection? Because I've smelled infection before, and a lot of times you could smell it from across, like, a thing. How bad was that smell, even at a distance?
If you're squeamish, like I think one person is, you should definitely be making HT checks. Thanks for the reminder.
You've smelled them inside before, right?
Infections, yeah.
I think that's in
I
real
think
life.
outside probably helps a bit.
Oh yeah. But I think people did move over. And Katya's tended to the horse as well, and it's actually a similar
Yeah,
smell.
Katya is going nowhere near that thing.
Even though you slurp it up, it's a delicious smell.
I mean, I don't slurp it up. It's not delicious, but I don't vomit.
You don't gag, at least. It's just like mega stinky. Katya, not so much. Like,
She doesn't actually go near there.
mm-hmm.
Like, she smells it and goes the other way.
And when you're doing your veterinarian, you're absolutely covering your mouth with your handkerchief. Give me another
There.
veterinarian check, please, for tonight. Success. Oh my god. Get it together, pony. So you redress it. It's not got any bigger, but it's not got any smaller either. Maybe swelling's gone down a bit. It's still stinky, but it's manageable. And the horse still seems alright, if a little bit angry about its poorly leg.
Katya's not super happy about that. She's probably a paler color than... Well, no, that smell is also pretty bad. It's been a rough morning.
Evening, but yes.
Evening, yes. Man, it's still evening.
It's the next evening. It's current.
And I also need to
It's
make...
currently the 26th.
She's alright. Godbert's not alright. Or not Godbert. The one who got gozzed on. Josbert? the Bert who was not doing well earlier today and in the back of the wagon, he's still not doing well. And in fact, Josbert, who I think was the informant of his illness this morning, will come back and say, "Milady,
Hmm.
I regret to inform that sick Bert is much worse for wear. Uh, he is exhibiting similar symptoms, milady, to yeah, what Josbert's talking too fancy. Talking too fancy, milady. He's exhibiting similar symptoms as to that there scout, and word is he did get spat on by the creature, covered in fact in its liquid.
Oh no.
When it's
Is the physician still around?
yeah, he's like over we Micah. He's walked over and he's looking at the body under the tarp as well, and he'd have been asking a couple of questions about it. You know, generally like how did you find him, and because she still had some of the resin as well, which had originally been used to stop the bleeding somewhat. And he's
Gotcha
looking at that.
frown. Gotcha frowns at the prospect of having to go over there. And could you go and have them check on them next?
Absolutely, milady. I will pass on the word.
Thank you.
Samira, you've seen up and about, and though she does look a little bit, tired, uh, she's generally fine. She didn't seem injured at all. Yeah, physician will go and check on your guy. Does that affect things? No, not particularly.
And presumably, Mikey was there when he was informed also. Can you pronounce that name once so I hear it correctly? The Mikey name?
Micah.
Thank you.
Micah, 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 Micah. Like the Rock, right?
Micah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I mean,
Meme. I'm stretching. Sorry, big stretch. Right, yeah, I think Adalga. We've not heard from you in a while.
minerals, right? There we go.
Minerals, Marie. So you've had.
Go ahead.
No, go on. It's mostly a full day of travelling. You had a bad hangover in the morning. You've been fairly quiet up here. You might get recognised, like incidentally, but no, not particularly. But there is a smith of sorts, kind of setting up. You'd spot the location. Not actually got firing yet, anything, because they only arrived today.
Ooh, I will definitely go over there and look at his setup.
He'd actually be finished setting up and sat drinking just outside his tent. It's decent. You could do steel on it if you had enough fuel. Give me, I don't know, perception or observation, if you want to know how much fuel he's got knocking about. A fair bit, not loads. Probably not enough to last through the winter if you were smelting 5 days a week. Smithing 5 days a week.
He will go up and say to the man, "So you've got a pretty decent setup here. A little low on fuel if you're planning on smithing most of the week, but other than that, not bad."
Mainly repairs. And in case the boss man finds anything and wants it melting down.
Fair enough, fair enough. How long you been smithing for?
Going on 15 year. He's a fairly old bloke. One massive arm. Also shirtless, let's say. But he has got his forge warming up for something in the morning. Gotta break it in. He'll point out.
You planning on? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna say he'll point out a couple of big billets of steel that he's got. Shaping. Go and make pole arms. Should be able to draw 3 or 4 out of there. Supplies
Hey.
left behind by last winter's, or by the summer guard.
Ah,
Break the
you want
forge
any
in
help?
with it.
It's been a hot minute since I've been able to forge. All the travel.
I shall no be warm till the morning.
Fair enough.
If you're here more than the day, though, I could use the hand.
I'll have to see whether or not we're moving on by then. He will then just sit down with the man and just trade stories about smithing.
Aye. Aye. Aye, with a hammer. And what have you. Have we missed anyone major? Etho, you had a bit of a quiet night for a while. Shall we skip forward? I think it's time to...
I think we do a time jump.
Decent time jump, yeah.
It's the 26th right now, Wednesday.
Wednesday the 26th. I need to see... You can move... Let's see. Yeah, you will reach Rochelbaugh by midday. So, my lady,
On the 27th?
are we stopping at the city? Or not midday, it depends when you leave. Do you stick around the Frostvale camp for a day? Your guy in the morning is very sick. That horse's wound is a bit scratchy. That's kind of people's decision.
When is the rest of the camp leaving? It sounded like they were backing up also.
Yeah, they were going to pack straight up, but they're going to wait 2 days.
If they're willing to take our wounded, that would be really appreciated. So they have a couple days to recover before traveling.
They will. And the physician will promise to burn the bodies of any that die.
Good idea. But if they're willing to take the wounded, I think we should get going as soon as we can. I figure probably stopping for lunch at Rochelbourg, just to give the warning as to what's coming their way.
I say midday, it will be more like afternoon. So it will be getting dark not long after that. But you could reach the inn at the crossing by night. I forgot the name of that place. It's probably archived. Saltbridge. It's called Saltbridge.
Then let's press on. We'll have somebody linger to give them word and then catch up. Person on horse actually riding is much faster than us for real.
And there's a legit like building that definitely catch your Micah Pian. He'll be able to sleep in tonight. Probably Etho too, by association.
And only a few nightmares associated with the building.
Maybe even a Dalgar if he pays for himself, but I think he's wealthy.
I've got some cash.
So yeah, we leave word but press on. And
Leave
then
word but press
sleep
on.
with a roof over our head that night.
No
Ideally.
smithing, but that smith guy has to start cooling his forge down anyway. Like, just before you went to bed, word came round that You were going to be packing up, and he was like, "Ugh," and started cooling the forge down, only having wasted a tiny bit of charcoal.
Did I hear correctly that the princess is actually staying at Rochelbor?
That is correct. Yeah. She is still in Rochelbor. She's been there all year. Um, she's kind of in charge of Rochelbor and its surroundings at the minute. I'm pretty sure the Lord of Rochelbor had either died and not had a suitable replacement or some such. Or I might be completely wrong, and there is also a Lord of Rochelbor.
Well, Katya is bummed that we're not stopping, but we're in a hurry.
Mm-hmm. She would be obliged to accept you.
Are we talking about Matilda at Inkwell?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
In fact, it'd probably be extremely rude of you to pass right by without stopping in.
You make a good point, random person talking in my ear. Katya will probably argue to stop.
Press on or stop? That's the question. You'd actually get a much nicer place to stay if you stopped at Rochelbor. And there is road after here, so you can travel much further. But you probably still wouldn't reach Salt Dock. No. Whereas you absolutely would if you pressed on from Rochelbor.
Does anybody argue against being irresponsible?
Press on.
Yeah, press on.
We should continue.
Please
This is
get me
urgent
out of here.
news.
You press on.
Katya loves socializing, but is also very vulnerable to peer pressure.
So yeah, you did not stop long in Rochelbor. Not long enough to speak to the princess, but you did pass on word that you were passing through and maybe passed a message on. Did you write something?
Oh, absolutely. There was a big apology and then a brief mention of monsters at the end.
Mm-hmm. You
And
could
perhaps
easily
in the
have.
morning we should abandon the caravan to ride on ahead faster, so that we might reach Salt Dock before nightfall.
That's a good idea. Let's plan to do that tomorrow.
That is a great idea.
Okay, so we'll get to the salt dock on the 28th then.
What was the day of meeting the giants?
20.
24th. Evening of the 24th, morning of the 25th, before
Morning of the
like
25th.
1 a.m.-ish, maybe. We reached today is the end of the 25th. Tomorrow is the 26th, which is when we should reach there then. Reach Salt Dock.
No, if it were the morning of the 24th at the Giants.
No,
Morning of
evening of the 24th.
So morning of the 25th at the Giants.
Yeah, that was
Morning
in
at
the
the 26th
ambiguous
there.
time.
Yeah, so it'll be the 27th. The morning of the 27th when you wake up rested at the inn.
What? We met the
When are we
Giants
getting to
at
salt
like
dock?
midnight at the end of the 24th.
Yes, 25th.
So then Archie burned the guy's tent down at evening of the 25th.
Oh, right.
So then
Morning of the 26th.
evening of the morning of the 26th, we head off for Salt Dock.
26th noon past Rochelbor. Arrive late evening in. Rest up. Morning of the 26th now.
Okay.
And yeah, if you ride your horses fast, you can get there real early, like noon.
Can everybody ride?
Yes.
Etho
problem.
is still sick. Throw it up every morning.
No, just all the time.
Just all the time.
Whenever on the horse.
Uh-huh.
Or the cart.
Mm-hmm. Probably don't help that you, yeah.
I like the idea that Katya is always worried about her when she does it, but hasn't put together that it's writing that causes it.
Also, she's been eating a lot of Aaron's chef's cooking.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
It's definitely had effects on a lot of the Burts' latrine visits. Noon, ride into Salt Dock, directly to the castle, directly to King.
I suspect some of us might divert, but generally, yes.
Let's look first
I don't
at
think
I'm sorry, you
Archie's
said
gonna
it
be
was
joining us.
noon.
noon, arriving at Salt Dock
Noon. Yeah.
on the
Yeah, no, we'll go with
26th. Adalga, do you ride fast to get there with them, or are you happy we arriving at Salt Dock in the evening? CD?
Sorry, what?
Do you ride with them to reach Salt Dock at noon? Or do you stay with the caravan to reach it in the evening?
I'll ride in with them.
Okay. Archie, what will you be doing, seeing as I doubt you're going to the king?
Yeah, yeah.
Katya will let him know where her caravan is marshaling. She assumes that he doesn't know. Lee assumes he does know.
Yeah, I feel like Archie knows. Archie'll go to the caravan.
Okay, so you just stay with the caravan while everyone else rides ahead.
No, Archie's gonna go
To where the
meet.
caravan's gonna go.
Yeah, like go meet where that is all assembling.
The group that Katya is sort of assembling right now. Like the larger caravan that's
Oh,
heading east.
the larger caravan.
Yeah, the one that's gonna expedition up north, southeast.
Like the only thing that it's missing is a boat, and it's been on hold since the king's told you to do this now. Like you were ready to go. You'd have already set off if you'd not gone north.
Yeah, I think Archie goes to that one.
Okay. Okay.
What are we hearing from you, Tara?
Noises.
I don't know.
Ghosts.
Cool. If there's a ghost here, your mum's a hoe. Ghost baiting. I sure hope no one died in this house. What am I talking about? That'd be badass.
But to the king?
Speak to the king. And Kale and various other peoples. And of course, you've got your other notable expeditioners with you still, Willem and Carl. Although they are a bit shook at watching the three scouts get ripped to shreds. But they've still been, brown nose and catch you hard. I've just forgot to mention them much.
Fair enough.
They've not ridden ahead with you though. They'll stay with the caravan, look after it.
I mean, somebody had to.
And obviously Samira and Aaron are still there with the caravan. Oh no, actually Aaron rides ahead with you. And Samira too, obviously. Yeah, so
They need to get their credit.
They need to get their credit.
We were there.
We were there. We were involved. Just a kind of visual toy. I think all the right people should be here as well, just about. It's missing Samira and Aaron.
Did you ever make that king?
Let's see. Let's see. I almost certainly did. Salt Dock, King Tilfred. There he is, look at him. Beardy, old, sat in his throne. He's got some of the losers about, but we've not got any art I'd like to use for him. Most notably, Kale. He's the main one, and also church bishop guy. I forgot his name. I deleted a bunch of people like an idiot when I should have just left him. But they could well have been replaced by now. Also, I mean, a lot happens in a year. What were giant attacks? So you report to the king. What's the gist? Or give me some straight up your choices.
You prefer gist or straight up?
Um,
I mean, we could entirely fuck this up.
you could entirely fuck this up, but Micah, what do you have to say? What is the threat of the giants? What?
Thank you, my lord. There is an additional threat out there. Strange monsters that might have been known in Kiam a long time ago. They are capable of killing giants. We fought some of their young. The giants have suffered massive casualties in the past year. They are fleeing south. Here,
Aaron, I'll speak up.
in great numbers.
I attest to what she says, Your Grace.
As do I.
Well, well, murmur people. The king.
They have stated that they are willing to coexist peacefully with us.
That's what we were doing until they came and ate everything in their path. We will be happy to coexist with them if they prove to be frugal in their destruction of our land.
My lord, may we approach?
Of course. Step forward. Sorry.
Katya
Apology.
gives Etho a look and then goes forward.
What look? You have a lot of looks.
I think
That's fair. They are a little distinct. It's a hang back ish look.
Kale's just like a guy in a rock band, right? Emily?
Yeah, I think a lot of
Metal.
these are
Metal, yeah.
copyright problems. All our old ones from the previous
Yeah,
seasons.
Kale
so.
is let's see,
can't-
it's not the bassist.
You can't like
Drummer?
copyright a bassist.
Not drummer.
You can copyright your own personal image. It's murky category when we use public images. Murky territory.
Well, Kale is played by, unknown to them. And yeah,
Does anybody follow?
Oh, but yeah, are you? That look was come with me, but stay shut up. Okay, got you.
It was definitely the follow, but this is the fucking king.
This is the one that speaks to the giants. Yes, my lord. Kale says. She has been civilized somewhat. One of the wild ones. They all appear more civilized this past year. I suspect they fear the giants' incursions.
Hi, Twitch.
My lord, you asked if the giants would be able to restrain themselves from consuming so much, from eating so much. I think we can assure you of that. Their numbers have dwindled a lot. How many? How many were there?
6.
She whispers back towards Etho and then quickly looks over to Mikey. Because
600.
This seems like something you'd have probably discussed before, but
It's fine. 600.
I know,
Sounds
out
good.
of character, Lee remembers, but this is a thing that Katya would probably. This is
Probably have
Katya
just
being not great at remembering this shit.
600 or so coming. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Etho says 600.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously giants eat a lot, but
600. Good lord. They could decimate our army, says the king.
Only if you attack them.
they just want a place to live, and I imagine they would make really good allies.
What of their grasp of our language? This one can speak to them. Can any of them speak to us?
The one we spoke with certainly had the potential.
Writing tongue so hard.
There are other translators, Your Grace, says Kale. I have sent for them already, but they have not yet arrived. They are far west, unfortunately. And, of course, I forgot the name of the king in the east, but Pian should have it written in his sheet.
Oh, Alfred.
Alfred. And Alfred is loath to give up his expert alleged translator.
Their language does seem to be similar to several of the Eastern languages.
Luke, as you think of response for that, I have an out-of-character question that is relevant to this conversation.
Go ahead.
Could we quickly zoom back to the map?
Yeah.
This island,
Mm-hmm.
it probably has other smaller islands on it, just with the level of smoothing on this.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
see them.
it's rough as fuck.
It didn't put any named settlements there, so I'm gonna guess it's at least very sparsely inhabited.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people farming it.
It's also
Fishing
very
villages and
close
such.
to the shore, so presumably it's on the same sort of higher elevation area that just happens to be underwater right now, so it could be conceivable for a giant to maybe even walk there. Right?
Oh.
Is it depopulated enough that it's reasonable to suggest that island?
Absolutely.
Okay, and we can head back to the throne room now. The king was just asked a question, was just told an answer related to the language that it's similar to the East.
Yes.
I'll have Micah mention this new thing in a moment after that's dealt with.
Well,
I'm not volunteering any of the king translators that I've recruited, but others of that like might be usable.
Kale steps forward. Your Grace, I think I see what is happening here. These merchants would have you fund their expeditions to the east in the name that it might stop the giants from coming south. Am I right, milady?
Katya frowns. That wasn't my plan. I was certainly going to propose that we do stuff.
There
I mean,
are additional elements of this that we haven't mentioned yet.
you're wrong about the funding part.
What
But
are these? Go on, Katya.
no, please, Your Majesty, or your
Oh,
my lord.
Kale says, what are these other elements?
There is an artifact that seems to indicate that the monsters we found, there is something important about them that might be related to stopping them to be found in Kiam. But before we address that matter with the giants, to the south of Kust, there is a series of islands, sparsely inhabited. The seafloor is not deep there. It could be conceivable to relocate the giants there.
Kale frowns for a minute, and the king's nodding though. And he says, I recall many a ship grounding there in the past. You're getting some great reaction checks, Micah.
Gotch is very impressed by your diplomacy abilities.
It's like it's just group here, you two stepping forwards. Like these two pervy old bastards cannot resist. Or at least King Tilfred can't resist. He's like just rubbing his thighs. He's like, oh, oh, yes, me ladies. Tell me more. But he is legit, you know, listening to what you're saying, and he's worried. Sorry, what were the last thing mentioned? Yes,
Moving people across.
That would work. There's.
By the way, I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but as soon as that gets suggested, Ethos' fists clench and like she is jaw tightens.
I'm not sure they're gonna want to walk that far.
They're willing to walk all this distance.
I mean, promise it to them. What would it be to give them a little bit of meat? We have plenty of aurochs in the larders. Offer it to them to move on down there. They aren't the smartest of creatures. They can likely be persuaded. Yes, I'm all for it.
If that's what you want, my lord, but perhaps others might volunteer places within their own lands that are closer. I definitely would prefer to have some giant allies that are nearby, myself.
You think your dad's still alive, right?
Out of character, yes.
Yeah. If that's something your father would be willing to do, and if you can guarantee they won't impact the day-to-day financing of the crown, crown, throne, mashed together. Then he's welcome to
So many
pasture.
coming, though.
I don't know that we can host all of them, but at least give the lords a chance to volunteer.
That's her suggestion. Micah will sort of bow her head down and, without moving, slink out of the conversation.
Tilfred will tell you that most are on their way already. I suspect day after tomorrow we'll be able to hold a court session. You can petition them there. I would be for sending them to the islands out of the way. And then they'll be easy to keep off land, what with them only having access at low tide.
Then I suppose I'll see you at court.
Very good. And this word of going east. Yes, if I can get another giant translator, hopefully one will show up in the next day or two. Then feel free to take yours with you on your journey east. I shan't keep you from it any longer, and I would in fact suggest that... Micah, take yourself with her. And you, Pian, I would be most grateful if you could also find your way to moving in on that. You do seem rather serious about this situation.
I think it's in my lord's best interest to continue along with them, Sir King.
My lord,
Miss Jin, Madam Jin.
I mentioned that there was another thing, another reason. I see Adalger there, so I'm going to assume he has the shield, and Micah will gesture to him. There was an artifact they gave us.
Aaron will step forward with you. Or at least, like, take it off you and bring it forwards. Kale leans forward to expect. The church guy leans forward to expect. Church guy tuts.
He was sort of gesturing, of trying to convey in a way that Adalger should bring it forward.
Yeah, join the conversation, CD, if you can manage it. It might be getting a bit late for CD.
Garrett just doesn't care much, honestly, for the royal court and stuff like that. It's not his scene. He just forges stuff.
Fair enough.
But he'll bring forward all the stuff that they want and give his observations that he had personally.
Okay. Yeah, they'll accept. They're like, oh, strange metal. You were indeed worth sending, it seems. Any more you can garner from it would be most useful. And like when you point out that it's a map and stuff, the king gets quite interested in that, and the church guy gets especially interested in that. And he manages to recognize as well that it's a map of, you know, quote unquote, the Holy Lands.
It's most likely missing parts from the edges from wherever it was cut from. But if we want to copy the map off this shield-ish looking thing... Sorry, I'm thinking about turning it into a shield as we speak. If we want to copy the map off real quick, I want to do some more tests on the metal. Once I get to a proper forge.
We should take several rubbings if that's acceptable. And yes, scribes get brought out with big sheets of parchment and charcoal, and it gets laid flat on a table and rubbed over a bunch of times. Pian, you could even take the opportunity to take a better rubbing and send the one you've already got off to your dudes.
Probably send the better one off to the king and his advisor.
Katri will use the opportunity to back up a little bit.
That's very loyal of you. Science happens.
Wonder how it reacts to heat.
That's something you'll have to figure out if you can manage to chip a piece off.
My lord, if this is going to be alchemy. Perhaps I can take my leave.
I think yes, all of you. Dalga, I would have you research this item more. Perhaps follow the map. There may be more to it, as you say there are pieces missing.
As you wish. He gives a very weird, excited giggle. This is his bread and butter. He loves this.
He says, "Yes, Aaron, if you're so inclined, I would that you go with them. I shall give you a writ of the king. It shall grant you passage through the regions my brother has managed to conquer. My brother, the regions Alfred has managed to
My
conquer.
5th cousin.
My 5th cousin, practically brother. I mean, like, definitely distant enough to marry in an instant."
Katya is definitely more closely related to Tilford than he is to that king, but I think Micah is too.
This is. Yep. I'm just confused always. Yeah, not my brother, but Alfred. They're fairly close. I feel like they fought side by side when they were younger.
It is as though we shared a mother, but we're not the same, but another.
One of those.
Oh.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah.
But they're given permission to leave. She's out.
I think we're reaching a pretty good stopping point, honestly.
I do want to do one thing
Archie?
before the session ends.
Yeah, we're gonna move to Archie as well. Anything in particular you wanted to be doing, Archie?
I mean, I think Archie's making his way to the rendezvous point, but like, I think there's time once he gets there for everybody else to get there. So I think he's just going through those documents.
So you ride in a different. Oh, you're just going through those documents. You set up a little camp somewhere?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Archie takes a path to cut across to get over there.
You've got combat reflexes, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you're just resting. You're probably refilling your water skin at a stream, and suddenly you hear a step and someone is right next to you swinging. Make a dodge maneuver, please. Managed to sneak up on you. He's got a short sword. He's wearing like just leather and a hood.
Can I get a retreat?
You can go retreat, but you've got bad footing, so you're at -1 to it.
So we'll be at a +1 because we'll make this frenzied,
Oh
feverish,
yeah,
whatever the hell it is.
easy. Um, and you're up. We don't really need turn order because it's to me to you. Range 1. Swing.
Swords out. All out defense parry. And who am I looking at?
Uh, bu- 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 One second. You don't. No, you do recognize him. It's it's a soldier of the church, essentially. The church has got its own private army to an extent.
Okay. So this is just a bounty hunter who's found me.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Did that work? That worked.
Yep.
You know what? While we're there, Archie will say, you don't have to do this.
They don't say anything, but they grunt and lunge and try and thrust at your torso, almost making it. You may defend.
All out defense grants a plus
2.
4? 2.
+2 to your parry. Oh, good job you
Ooh, that
took
was
it.
close. Yeah.
Good thing you did it.
Yeah, you parry. Your turn.
Well, then I guess we're gonna go ahead and keep. What kind of armor is he wearing?
Leather. Covers the torso and shoulders. Head. Not the neck. Upper legs. No gloves. Oh, it's a bit cold. He's
He
probably
is
wearing like.
at a -2 to parry or a -1 to block or dodge.
Ooh, he is gonna. He'd probably go for. Parry and retreat, being a trained swordsman. And he makes it. Yeah, steps back one. And then he is gonna come back in fast and swings at you, potentially hitting. Swing instead of a thrust this time.
You know what? We might as well just make this frenzied, frantic, whatever. That succeeds by even more.
He growls. Urgh. You're up.
And then I guess we will follow that up with.
Oh wait, the -2 to defend. He still made it on the nose, yeah.
Oh, and I was at a +2 because of the frantic.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. He's at a -2 to parry again. -1 to block or dodge.
Let's try that parry and retreat again. Oh, that's a fail.
Ooh, max damage. To the vitals.
Oh dear.
That's how you run a guy through.
Mm-hmm. Target's max HP is this. Penetrating damage taken was this. Damage type is impaling, and the location is the vitals. He's normals. He's not vulnerable. He's rolling versus pain, and he's failing. Rare. Not already wounded. Oh. Oh. Roll HT +0 on a failure, they die. He's alive. Unconsciousness at -2. He fails. Yeah, you stab him like right in his lung area. He coughs up some blood, drops to the floor.
Okay. He had a helmet off, right? Or he had a helmet on?
Yeah, just like a leather hood.
Oh, okay.
So his face
Yeah.
were out, and you recognised him as being a nobody, low life church scummer.
Alright. Leave the sword in place for now. And just, like, drag him up to a tree. So he's, like, sitting on the tree.
Trying to keep
Something
him
to lean against.
somewhat alive.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, we were on a stream, splash water on his face.
He does not immediately come to, but it's about lunchtime. You can stand to wait a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait a little while, wait till he regains some consciousness, and
You're finally like getting ready to give up. Like, you think it's been a good hour, and you're like, ugh, and he finally coughs and moans. He was like, oh.
Archie leans down and says, "What's your name, brother?"
You don't remember me, Archibald? He spits up blood.
Should I remember you?
Bastard. Don't
No,
remember
seriously.
humiliating me?
Is any of this coming to mind for Archie?
Yeah, it does vaguely. Did I not mention that you recognized him slightly?
Hmm. How do I recognize him?
It's just someone that you trained with, and he were a loser, cocky, and
Oh,
you showed 100
are
people what were what while you were training, and now
are
you've shown
are
him
you
for real.
are you talking about that thing that happened in basic training? You know, you were always a shit swordsman, but you didn't have to come prove it again.
We will get you, you heretic, and when we do, you'll burn for eternity.
Let me let you in. Let me let you in on the big secret. I have met with the angels and the deities of whom Arate
His friend's
descends.
sneaking up on you, says the voice in your head.
Glance over the shoulder.
There's no one there. The voice in your head laughs. Made you look, you fool.
That was not funny. Not funny at all. Anyhow, the thing about Arate is that he was just a man who knew more than us from long ago. And everything you believe is a lie. Rest peacefully in that knowledge, and then pull the sword out and remove his head.
Swing, swing. Etho, you wanted to see. Are you muted? Are you AFK?
Terra is in fact muted.
Oh, I am. Sorry. You wanted to know what I was doing, right?
Yeah, you wanted to see.
So it wasn't much a scene as something she was going to do before we pieced out, because it sounds like we're getting ready to piece out, and this is kind of emergency. She is going to write up a detailed message in a toonie about what's been going on, how there's creatures infesting the mountains like veins, and how the giants are probably going to end up going to war because these guys are fucking idiots. And hire one of the most talented postmen in the city to go to the Atuni place where they usually pick up the drop-off point.
I'll save you a lot of effort because you can straight up go and meet a sister these days.
Oh, okay. So there's one that pops into town now.
Yeah, a few of them come into town quite frequently.
Cool. Then I will write a detailed message about all that stuff. Tell it to go to my mother, but also give them a lowdown about what's going on.
Pass
But,
it all on.
Yeah, give and be like, you need to get out of those mountains ASAP.
Yeah, they're gonna set off immediately. I'm pretty sure they may even end up with a couple of catches super fast horses somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if Etho asks for a horse, she doesn't ask why.
Yes, then yes.
Horse gets gifted.
And then but everything. And remember, her mother was the matriarch. So.
Koi. So
Yep.
I think the plan will be to skip a day and then come back next session at a called court session with a bunch of lords in attendance.
Katya will have sent a letter to her dad prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
It won't have arrived, but it's important that she sent it.
Mm-hmm. He should probably be on his way, really. He would have been called in just like the rest, and it is his daughter that's gone north, despite his wishes, I'm sure.
If nothing else, he might want to be there to, like, say goodbye when the expedition leaves.
Mm-hmm. In fact, he's probably already in the city. Because you're spending a lot of his money right now.
So much worse.
Mm-hmm. Or he might be in... Yeah, he's probably been in Weymouth overseeing your spending.
Poor guy.
But he'll have taken the day's journey up tomorrow. See you in the evening before the court session. Yeah. Any final scenes from anyone? Ooh, Pian, we don't get much
Yes.
from you. I feel like you should definitely be doing something for surezies.
Well, yeah, after he sends off the packet with all of the stuff back to, King Alfred and his advisor, he's gonna wander to the city at night hoping to get mugged.
Have you got an area knowledge?
Nope,
Or a
but that's
streetwise?
actually probably gonna help. I don't even think I have streetwise. I spent a lot of time in cities.
Okay,
No,
not
I don't
not
have
that kind of
streetwise.
not that kind of dude. Let's see. Let's leave it to.
I mean, I could roll body language or something to try and seem like a better target, but that's about it.
That'd be acting.
I could do that too.
Yeah, give me an acting check.
Traps check. Or acting-based traps.
That's a great acting roll. Yeah, success by 6. It takes a while, but eventually someone, makes contact with you. They're not trying to mug you so much as pick your pocket, and it's very quiet, and it's only you and them in this small alley.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Punch him in the stomach and, yeah, drag him down onto the ground.
Just give me a quick. They've probably not got. Oh yeah, no, they completely. As soon as you grab them, as soon as they've been rused, they freeze up almost, and down they go pretty quickly. I'm sure. We don't need to go through conditional injury calculator if you don't want. Although, actually, you're gonna probably interrogate him, aren't you, or say something to him?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, I were mistaken one of your vows. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, probably. He
In
brought it on himself. So I'm gonna horribly murder him in the dark alley and then leave his body there.
Oh right, yep. That's the key word being the second to last one in parentheses.
Yes.
I will allow it. Clearly not an innocent scumbag bastard. He's
Nope.
got a key street tattoo that everyone knows means he's murdered 24 babies.
In his defense, I suspect every PC also would be a valid target. Except maybe not the Smith.
Do you know how many babies he's murdered? He's got a specialty dagger that he quenches by thrusting
I
through a
don't.
baby's
That's my
heart.
point.
Listen, I was a guardsman for a long time. I have some hang-ups around street crime and crime in general.
Especially baby killers like this guy.
Yes.
down he goes, away he gets dragged into a medieval dumpster,
Or maybe like an open
a poo pit.
storm drain or something. Yeah, you just see his legs kicking as I yank him down. And I feel like that's all we need to see right now.
Cool. Final requests for Skeens.
Sounds like a
Or
resounding nope.
sounds like a resounding
No.
no. Yeah, no.
Anything found in those documents, or do you want to ponder on that?
I'll ponder on that. Jobs for me. To-do list is absolutely think of cool words to name the cities that you've got to check out if you want to get to the bottom of what this map means. And documents that Archie stole and needs to read through. Yeah. Alright.
Cool.
We had Emily, Kyle, Tara, Lee, CD, and Colin, and me. I'm Luke. Bye, everybody. Wait, no.
Bye.
Before
No,
that, we'll be
not
back
bye.
on Monday with
Yes.
the
Spelljammer.
adventure Spelljammer
Spelljammer.
Monday. Flippy floppy sessions. There'll be YouTube uploads soon if anyone's watching on Twitch. I think people are. And then we'll be back next Friday with this. Yeah.
And we're the Kobold Cafe, if you didn't know.
Yeah, with the Kobold Cafe. Twitter, like if you talk to me on Twitter, I will talk back for sure. Same on YouTube. I reply to every comment, especially the nasty ones. They're my favourites.
We've got nasty ones.
Occasionally, the funniest one was like a quit emo. But we got someone backing us up in a reply saying, "You should quit being such an asshole."
Good for them.
That's
Yeah.
like your enduring trait, though.
I mean, they didn't say we shouldn't quit.
My response was, "Nah." Like, why? We're having so much fun. But yeah,
Our production value's shit, but we're having a good time.
yeah,
We'd be doing this anyways.
yeah, exactly. You know, like, quit doing this. I don't think so. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Baby, leave a hate comment. Bye bye. I need to.
Bye.
Bye.